Why is half of Brazil poor? Well, it sounds a bit strange to say that because Brazil is actually the wealthiest country in South America and possesses the 9th largest economy in the world. With a land area of 8,516,000 square kilometers, Brazil covers 47.7% of South America, making it the largest and most populous country in the region. To put it into perspective, even just half of Brazil's landmass is almost equivalent to the entire area of Europe, spanning from Portugal to Ukraine. It is one of the 4 largest countries in the world in terms of land area. It is almost 100 times bigger than its former colonizer, Portugal. Moreover, this geography holds incredible potential and is home to approximately 213 million people, making it the 6th most populous country in the world. So, whether it's the economy, land area, population or even football, Brazil stands out. However, when I divide the country into the north and south regions, I noticed a significant economic disparity between these regions. The northern region, which covers off 60% of the country landmass, is wider than the south, and approximately 36% of the country's population resides in the northern and northeast regions. However, despite this, these areas represent less than 30% of the GDP. Even though they have a smaller population compared to the south, their poverty rate in these regions is higher. About 58% of people living in poverty reside here. Can you imagine that half of the population struggles to even feed themselves? How is it possible for half of a country with the largest economy in the world to remain underdeveloped and impoverished? I'm gonna address all of these questions, but if you enjoy this type of content, you can support me by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. The 26 states with the highest per capita income are located in the southern region, while the 10 states with the lowest income are in the northern region of Brazil. This is indeed the crux of the matter. The south of Brazil is wealthier and more developed than the north. There are several reasons for this. Firstly, cities in the southern region have a larger consumer market and higher purchasing power compared to the northern region. Additionally, these regions are located in areas with access to trade routes, which encourages companies to invest more in these areas. Another reason is the better educated workforce in the southern region. The south also benefits from better infrastructure. In fact, Sao Paulo is currently one of the top 10 wealthiest cities in the world and is expected to rank 6th by 2025. The northern region, due to historical and geographical factors, has become poorer. The main source of income in this region is primarily agriculture. Additionally, the lack of industry infrastructure and access to basic services repel companies from investigating this region. All of these factors negatively impact a struggling and underdeveloped region, and for many years, the Brazilian government did not actively seek solutions to address this. Perhaps focusing on one part of the country was making them wealthier. This is of course a personal observation, but it does reflect reality. The other half of the country is undereducated, impoverished, and living in difficult conditions. Now, let's go back to the year 1500, when Portuguese explorer Pedro Álvares Cabral arrived at what is now Porto Seguro, discovering Brazil during colonization. The northeast and southeast regions were the most explored and developed areas in Brazil. They had favorable climates for the production of sugarcane, which was a valuable commodity in Europe and brought significant profits to the Portuguese. Until the 1080s, the other regions of Brazil held less importance for Europeans. However, during this century, competition from other colonies such as Cuba and Puerto Rico in sugarcane production caused a decline in international sugar prices, making production more challenging. This led to a new cycle of exploration in the region. The first endeavor was gold mining, followed by the focus on coffee production in the southeast, which redirected the country's economy away from the northeast. Yes, Brazil has been the world's largest coffee producer for over a century. While Brazil used to account for 80% of global coffee production until the early 90s, today it represents around 25%. This development resulted in uneven distribution of infrastructure investment within the country. Additionally, the presence of the Amazon rainforest surrounding the northern region further complicated the situation. It wouldn't be wrong to say that the construction and infrastructure development in the region extend only as far as this vast forest. Until now, there has been only one road connecting the Amazon forest to the rest of the country, which is BR 319, opened in 1976. The state of Amazonas has a population of approximately 4 million, but over 2 million of them are concentrated in the capital city of Manaus. The same situation applies to Amapá and its capital, Macapá. The population of these states is concentrated in the capital cities, with at least 50% of the population residing there. Indeed, it seems that there is a correlation between the vast forests that hinder settlement and the low population in the region. All these historical and geographical factors have made the southern region more attractive for industrialization, further widening the economic disparities with the northern region. The headquarters of the largest companies in Brazil are located in the south, and many multinational corporations, including Microsoft and United Nations, have their offices in Sao Paulo. Rio de Janeiro is also home to several corporate headquarters, such as Petrobras, GBS, OI, and Whale. Additionally, there are major companies in Curitiba. According to a study conducted by Celivor, the 2022 Entrepreneurial Cities Index identified Sao Paulo, Curitiba, and other cities as the top 5 most influential and well-developed cities in terms of entrepreneurship. The majority of these companies are located in the southern region rather than the northern region. Additionally, import and export activities are concentrated in this area. This is mainly because, as mentioned before, the purchasing power and population in this region are significantly higher than in Brazil's northern region. Although the northeast region is rich in natural resources, companies and individuals seeking better opportunities tend to gravitate towards the southern part of the country. The lack of investment and job opportunities in the north, limited access to infrastructure and education, and the absence of basic services like healthcare, clean water, and electricity are the primary reasons why this region has struggled to develop. Moreover, challenges such as limited access to official jobs, inadequate airports, high transportation costs, and increased risks further hinder the development and progress in the region. Nevertheless, agriculture remains the primary source of income for people in the north. These factors contribute to the perception of the country as having two concentrating poles. However, the Brazilian government has recently been focusing on increasing investments in the north region and promoting its development. Although it will take time to see the full extent and effectiveness of these investments and improving the region's economic situation, their impact will become evident over the years. Let me tell you one more thing about economic development. Have you ever heard of BRICS before? For those who are not familiar, BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Together they hold 1/3 of the world's landmass. It's truly incredible. These countries are planning to collaborate economically, and they have the potential to shape the future of the world in the next 30 years. And I'm not the one saying this, economists are. When we look at the economies of these countries within the group, I must say that they are incredibly strong. The growth rates of these 5 countries' GDP have even surpassed those of European countries in recent times. In fact, a common currency among these 5 countries could potentially surpass competitors like the dollar and the euro. Different countries as diverse as Afghanistan, Argentina, Lebanon, Indonesia, Mexico, Iran, Egypt, Nigeria, Sudan, Syria, Bangladesh, and Greece have shown interest and put it on their agenda at different times. However, since its inception in 2009, the BRICS has not expanded beyond the inclusion of South Africa in 2011. In conclusion, Brazil is indeed a powerful country with great potential for the future. We will see what the future holds. Thank you for watching the video up to this point. I'm counting on your support on our journey towards 1000 subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself.